Welcome everybody. Today we are going to learn what is factorial of n, at the same time how to write code to calculate factorial of n. Before that, if we want to see what is factorial of n, then we can write it is n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 into n minus 3 into, in this way it will run up to 1. Okay, if I write a mathematical example for the 5 factorial, it will be 5 into 5 minus 1, which will be 4. Then we can multiply it by 3, and in this way into 2 into 1, and the value will be equal to 120. Okay, for writing this code in Python, we will have to take help of for loop or while loop. If we start our code using for loop for I in range, and it will start from n, it will run up to 1, and for that we will have to put 0 as the stopping condition, and it will decrease by 1, and after that if we put colon, and then we can go to our body, and here we will do the actual calculation. Before that we will have to declare a variable which is factorial, and we will initialize it by the value 1, and here if you write factorial is equal to factorial into I, then if we print the value of factorial, here we are seeing that n is red marked. That means we will have to initialize the value, or we will have to put a value into n. We can put 5, 7, 8, or we can take input from user by input function, and before that we will have to type convert it, because we know that by default Python take input from user in string format, and here we have converted it into integer data type. Okay, if we run our code, before that if we put a hint so that user can understand what is going to happen, or user can get an idea, system is asking for an input, so enter a number, and we know that our system won't process this string, just it will act like an helping string. Okay, if you run our code here, as we didn't commented these two lines, our code has thrown an error. If we run our code again, and here we are seeing that our code or our program is asking for an input. If I put 5, it has print 5, 20, 60, 120, and 120. That means our internal or intermediate value of factorial are printed as well. And if we want to understand what has happened here, for the first time or at the initial phase, the value of factorial is 1. When our loop will start, for the first iteration, the value of I will be n. And from this example, if we assume that, or if we think that our input is 5, that means I will be 5, and as in loop it will ask that 5 is greater than 0 or not. Yes, 5 is greater than 0, then it will be able to come to its body, and here it will multiply factorial with I. The value of factorial is 1 and the value of I is 5 initially. So 5 into 1 is equal to 5, and it will keep this value into factorial, and it will come to this line and print the value of factorial, which is 5. Then it will go to the for loop again. I will be decreased, that means it will be 4, and we'll ask that 4 is greater than 0 or not. Yes, it is greater than 0, so it will come to this line, and here factorial will be multiplied with I, as factorial is 5 and I is 4. The value of this multiplication will be 20 and will be assigned to factorial, and the current value of factorial will be printed, which is 20. Here we are seeing that 20 has been printed. In this way it will come to for loop again. I will be decreased and it will be 3, and it will come here 3 into I, sorry, I equal to 3 and factorial is 20, so 3 into 20 is equal to 60, and the value will be kept into this factorial and factorial will be printed. So we are seeing that 60 has been printed. In this way I will be 2, and factorial is 60, so 60 into 2 is equal to 120, and now factorial will be 120 and 120 has been printed. Now I will be 1, as I is still greater than 0, it will come here, and 120 will be multiplied with 1, and the resulting value will be 120 and will be kept in this factorial, and this will be printed. So here we are seeing that 120 has been printed for the 2 times, and after that it will make the value of I 1, sorry, it will make its value 0, and 0 is not greater than 0, so it can't come here, and our for loop will be terminated. Okay, but if we don't want to print all the intermediate value of factorial, like if you want just the final value of factorial, we will have to print in this way so that it has come out from for loop. And if you run our code again, it is asking for input. If I put 5, here we are seeing that the output is 120, as the value of factorial 5 is 120. Okay, here if we look at this multiplication, 5 has been multiplied with 4, and the resulted value or resulting value has been multiplied with 3, and then the resulting value has been multiplied with 2 and with 1. But if we multiplied 1 with 2, then the resulting value will be multiplied with 3. I mean, if we do this multiplication in reverse order, this will result in same value. Okay, so from this idea, here we can write our loop in forward order. We can start it from 1, we can run it up to n, and for writing up to n we will have to put n plus 1 here, because we know that if we put n, it will run up to n minus 1, and it will be increased by value 1, and we know that by default the value of I will be increased by 1. So for increasing the value by 1, we won't have to place 1 as the third parameter, and the result will remain same. And if we run our code again, it is asking for input. If we put 5, the resulting value will be 120 again. So that's it about factorial of n. Hope all the things have made sense and you have understood everything. So thank you so much for your time and patience. Hope to see you in next episode. Till then, bye.